everybody, and thanks to all of you for joining us tonight for our Royal Caribbean. We waited for so long to hear about the return of international travel. We're really excited to hear about when cruising is going to return. I was just speaking to Jenny Callister earlier. Jenny, I'm sure, is not a stranger to most of you. Jenny's our sales manager from Royal Caribbean. She's joining us from Dublin tonight. And I was just saying to her earlier that normally in Oasis travel, cruising accounts for about 35% of our business. But since the new year, cruising has accounted for over 50% of our future business, which is really phenomenal. Of course, most of that is for 2022, with a lot of people waiting just to see what's happening this year. So as usual, you are free to ask any questions and we'll take those at the end. So you can do that by typing them into the Q&A bar or by sending an email to inquiries@oasis-travel.co.uk. So Jenny, if you want to just come on now, and we're really looking forward, Jenny, to hear what you have to tell us. We hope it's good news.
Yes, it is. And I just want to say good evening to everybody, and thank you, Sandra, and for all your team for organising tonight. I'm delighted to have so many people on this evening. And I'd love to tell you that I'm on this beautiful beach in the Bahamas, this island. But no, I'm actually in my attic in Greystones in County Wicklow, so I'm not on this island. So I'm just going to share my presentation with you this evening. If you could just bear with me until I get it up, please, that would be great. And I'm excited to talk to you all about Royal Caribbean. So good evening, everybody, and I'm sure I have met a lot of you that are on the call, the call this evening over the years at all the wonderful cruise events that Sandra and her team actually have. And I'm delighted to be able to tell you what's been happening with Royal over the last couple of months. And we really have been working very hard on getting ready and making sure that we're ready to welcome you all on board again. Can you believe actually that last year we were 51 years in business, and this year is our 52nd year, so it's quite amazing. We've 25 award winning ships, so plenty of choice. And we really say now our ships are really multi-generational. They're absolutely for every age. They're for families and couples, and we do get a lot of families that will cruise together, which is really, really great to see. And I think we're going to see more of it as we go through the next year. So meet the fleet. Where are the ships? Where are the ships now? We're going to 249 destinations altogether, and we will be by the time we move into 22, 71 countries over 5 continents. And really our staff are really our best asset on board the ship, and they've been highly trained in what we call the Royal way, and it really is a 5-star service. We've got service charters in place, and they really are to the highest standard in the industry. And our mantra, or I guess the 3 pillars that they work towards while they're looking after you on board, is to offer you a friendly service and to be passionate about what they do, and to be completely committed to you as well and give you the best service. They want to make sure that every person who comes on our ship has the best possible holiday. The great thing as well is that we have a great ratio on board the ship. So we have 1 staff member to every 3 guests, which I think is pretty amazing. So there's a huge amount of staff there to make sure that your holiday is just amazing. The other thing as well is we've won lots of awards, which is great to see, and it's across the board. It's with our trade partners like Oasis Travel, it's with the consumers themselves, indeed yourselves traveling with us, and even the media. So these would have been the awards towards the end of 19 and the beginning of 20. So we were delighted to win, and we've won over the last number of years Northern Ireland, the best cruise line, and that would have been in October 2019, and that's voted for by the trade. And then the one in the middle is by the independent newspapers, being Ireland's favourite cruise line, and we would have won this in January 2020. I think this was probably one of the last events that I was at in January 2020. And then the Trade Media as well, Trade Media Awards, the best cruise company as well, and that would have been towards the end of 2019. So it's great to see all these awards in, and we'll hope to continue winning these awards as we go through the next number of years. A lot of people are asking me, a lot of guests are asking me about return to service and what's happening. We've seen there is a demand right now for 2022, and but we do have some ships that are sailing at the moment and are coming into service in the next couple of months. And I just wanted to touch on them briefly and talk a little bit more about the ones that you can maybe avail of. So Adventure and Vision are going to be sailing in the US, the Bahamas and Bermuda. And right now it's just for US guests, but we don't know where we're going to be in a few months' time. Believe it or not, Quantum of the Seas has been sailing in Singapore since October last year. It's just for locals, but that season keeps getting extended and we're still sailing. They're what we call sailing to nowhere cruises, but there's huge demand for them. And the other one we just launched a couple of months ago was Odyssey of the Sea. Our newest ship is going to be sailing in Israel, and her season is starting very shortly as well. The two ships, I guess, that are closer to home for us is Anthem of the Seas is going to be sailing out of Southampton. I'm going to go into a little bit more details about Anthem, because if there's anyone who'd like to sail this year, there's an option there. And the other ship as well is that we've got Jewel of the Seas is going to be sailing from July out of Cyprus, so sailing from Limassol around the Greek Isles. And we've actually put on, just to help make it into a full package, we've chartered flights, and we've got flights going from Manchester, Birmingham and Gatwick at the moment. So it's an all-in package and the prices are really good. And again, it's a lovely itinerary taking in the Greek Isles, Santorini and Mykonos. Now, I know right now, obviously we don't know about international travel, but we're hoping once you get the green light and that there's an option there for you. So I guess the main news for us would be with regard to Anthem of the Seas. And just to let you know some of the protocols, I'll just move on to the next few slides, some of the protocols that we've put in place. Now, there's a lot of detail and I don't want to go into too much detail tonight, but I'm just going to touch on a few of them. We have an app in place, the Royal app, and we've had this for quite a number of years and I've used it myself on board the ship, but we've really enhanced it now over the last number of months. So we've been really working away behind the scenes to make your whole experience completely safe. So with this new app, there's going to be additional enhancements made to it, and these are going to be in place. These protocols will be in place on Anthem of the Seas sailing from Southampton this summer, and also for Jewel out of Cyprus this summer as well. So there's going to be staggered arrival times in half-an-hour intervals, so you can choose the time that suits you. There's also going to be a health questionnaire that's going to be sent to you by the app that you need to fill out, and it must be filled out 24 hours before sailing. You'll also then be issued a boarding pass, but you're not yet clear to board until you complete the health questionnaire, and there's a wellness check-in at the pier as well. And if anywhere during that process that you're unsure about anything or need some assistance, or you can't answer something specific about one of the questions, then there is a phone number for you to be able to call and to speak to somebody for extra reassurance. So there are a couple of new check-in requirements. The other change we've made is to our muster, and I know you're all familiar with the muster drill, which was done almost as soon as you went on board, and it was a bit laborious, but what we've done now, we've added that to the mobile app as well. And what we've done is, there's two important aspects here. The safety information will be offered to the guests through a new e-muster technology on their phones, but it's also done interactively on the stateroom TV, so you can do it once you get on board. There's 4 really, really easy steps. So it must be done, so the muster must be done before the ship departs. And again, it's just a quick step-by-step progress program on your phone. Each individual guest must visit their assigned muster station. So you must physically go to a muster station as well, but you can go over a period of time. It's not at one specific time. So that's where you will verify that you've completed the drill, which you've done on either on your interactive TV or on your mobile app. And once we've verified the guests have completed the drill requirements, then that's it, it's done. And you've got a 4-hour window to do that. So 4 steps, a 4-hour window. It's really flexible and will be really easy to do. So I think this is a really good thing that we've moved forward with this, because I think this makes a huge difference. And the other steps we're doing with regard to onboard protocols is we're going to have 100% fresh filtered air with this new system called HVAC system. So it continuously intakes 100% fresh ocean air, and it's filtering it for supply to all indoor rooms and also communal areas. So in the public areas, the air is exchanged 20 times in an hour, and in the staterooms it's 12 times per hour. And just to give you an idea how good this is probably double the amount of air changes that would be done in a venue like a shopping centre. We've also enhanced with now got medical grade cleaning standards. So we've got a new sanitization protocol using EPA certified disinfectants and techniques. And it's hospital grade disinfectant. High temperatures are used for all the bedding and the towels in your stateroom. We've also upgraded medical facilities, and we have more experts on board the ship. So there's more doctors and nurses, upgraded facilities, equipment, and sound care plans in place. And then if something did happen, we've partnered with local authorities in all the ports that we go to work with them to have transport protocols in place to get people home safely if needs be. Now there's a lot more detail to this, but I just wanted to touch on it very, very briefly. But these would be some of the protocols that will be on the ships sailing this year. Obviously, I can't talk about what the protocols will be in 22 because everything is changing so quickly. Some of these may not be necessary as we move into 22, but right now, these will be the protocols on board the ship. So hopefully you agree that we have put all these in place because your safety and health on board the ship is the utmost importance to us. So just moving along, I just want to talk a little bit about Anthem of the Seas because she's sailing from Southampton starting on the 7th of July, and she's going to be doing 4- and 8-night itineraries, and they're ocean getaways and cruises around the British Isles, so a little bit different than norm, but we have seen some bookings coming in from Northern Ireland. There are people who want to go on the ships, and this is an amazing ship. So just to let you know what the protocols will be, I've spoken about some of them, but these cruises are available to you in Northern Ireland. It will be sailed by a fully vaccinated crew. All the guests over 18 need to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19, so they must have their both vaccinations, and those under 18 years need a negative PCR test. So this is just for the sailing, and I'm going to go a little bit into a little bit more detail on what's on board Anthem for anyone that's interested. But we've got prices now from £579 per person for a 4-night cruise, and that would be from Southampton. And I'll talk a little bit later on about some onboard credit and some additional incentives we have for tonight, which hopefully will encourage you to book. So what's on board Anthem on the Seas? I'm not going to go through all this detail, but it's such a fantastic ship. It really is just amazing, and it's perfectly made. It's got more indoor space than any of the cruise ships that will be sailing this summer, and that's a real benefit going around the British Isles, because obviously we don't know what the weather will be. But some of the things I'm going to pick from this is, you've all seen the North Star, which is this pod. This is an arm that goes 300 feet up into the air, and you get 360-degree view views of at sea or at port, and actually with the ports as well, you actually will be able to get off the ships, which is great. But this is a great experience. It's a bit like being in the London Eye, and that's really a cool experience, and that's obviously complimentary. We also have things like the Flow Rider. We've got the Ripcord by iFly. That's our fly crew, our simulator, our skydiving simulator, which is great. Lots of indoors areas as well, and lots of activities for people indoors as well, like bumper cars. You can see that, archery, and a trapeze school. So this is all on Anthem. The great thing about Anthem as well as having pools and outdoor whirlpools, we also have an indoor solarium and an indoor pool, which is really fantastic. So we have the solarium, plus we also have an indoor pool, and the solarium is for adults only. So lots on the ship. And of course, dining. We all love dining on board the ships. A huge amount of choice. Some of the ones I'll pick out is the Windjammer. A lot of people are asking about the self-service. The only difference will be that your food will now be served to you in the Windjammer. And it was in some stations that I have used in the past in the Windjammer. Sometimes they would serve food to you. So that's the changes there. Sorrento's, I'm sure you all know, which serves amazing pizza right through until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. So again, a lot of choice there. All your favorite dining options are still there on Anthem. And we then have lots of speciality dining, and some of my favorites on board the ship. I love Jamie's Italian. For anyone that likes Italian food, that is absolutely amazing. And again, there is not a huge charge. It's about $15. These have some supplements on them. It's about $15 for lunch. It's about $25 for additional for evening meals, an evening meal. And then, of course, you've got Chops Grill as well, which is about $30, and they do amazing steaks. So a huge choice. We've also got an Asian food as well, and the wonderful Wonderland, which is a little bit more exotic. So a huge choice of food. Nighttime and lounges, huge amount of choice again. One of my favorites is the Schooner Bar, where we have a guy or a lady playing the piano, and you can sit around the piano and sing along. I just love that, and there's a great atmosphere there as well. We've got Vintages, which of course is a wine bar. And one of my favorites as well is 270. And I'll talk a little bit about 270. That's one of my favorite parts of the Quantum class ship, that is Anthem. And of course, the shows are spectacular. We have these big Broadway style shows. We have We Will Rock You is the show that is on Anthem. And we've got live orchestras, guest entertainers. So there's a huge choice. But We Will Rock You is the big showstopper. I mentioned 270 earlier. 270 is an amazing area on the ship, which is the back end of the ship, and it's got this amazing Vistarama technology, which screens come down around the 270 area, which is all glass at the back of the ship. Screens come down, they project images onto those screens. We also have 5 robotic screens that work in conjunction with them. And then on top of that, we have a show. So all of that together is absolutely spectacular. And that's one of my favorite parts of the ship, 270, as well of course, as the theatre. So the choice for you on board Anthem, as indeed all our ships, you have these 4 choices of accommodation. You have an interior, an ocean view, which obviously has a porthole with a view of the sea, a balcony, which I think is pretty straightforward. And then we've got the virtual balconies as well, which are incredible. And remember, the virtual balconies it's a live stream, so it's like a TV that's up against the wall, and it looks like a window, because it's a live stream of what outside is, so you can see if it's sunny or if it's raining or if you're in port. But it's absolutely fantastic, and you can turn them off as well, but it really feels like you have a balcony, but it's an interior with a virtual balcony. So 4 choices of accommodation for you to choose from. And it's great to have the balcony, because with the balcony it gives you additional space, and a nice place maybe to get some breakfast in the morning, and to sit out and watch the world go by, or to sit there in the evening, watch the sunset with a cocktail in your hand. So they're the four choices of accommodation. I'm fairly sure my next slide is a video. So I'll just see if that goes into the video. Yes, here we go. I'm hoping you can hear it. And it's just about where we're going in 22. So I'll let you have a look at it. So as you can see, there is a huge amount of choice there for 22. So I'm just going to go into a little bit more detail on some of the ships and just some of the itineraries, not too much detail, but just touch on the ships that we have in Europe. So I'll talk first about Allure there on the top left. So Allure is going to be based in Barcelona, and she's going to be doing the Western Med. I'm going to talk a little bit about Allure because she's like one of our flagship ships that will be in the Med in 22. And she's doing the Western Med, but she's also calling in areas like Mallorca, Naples, Florence and Rome, all those key European cities that people really love to go to. And the next one I'm really excited to see because she is just in her final stages of being built in the shipyard in France, and that's Odyssey of the Seas. And she's going to be, this is the ship that's going to Israel this summer, but she's going to be sailing out of Rome next year, and she's going to be doing those wonderful itineraries that everyone loves, which is around Greece, so calling in on places like Mykonos, Naples, Santorini as well, which everyone wants to go and see. And she's going to be almost identical to Anthem of the Seas, who I just spoke about, is going to be sailing out of Southampton, but she's some additional things added to her. And you can see one of them is the sky pad on the left hand side, which is this ball here on the left hand side, and that is a trampoline, a virtual reality experience, and that's going to be on Odyssey of the Seas. And if anyone is interested, at the beginning and the end of the season, she's going to be doing 9-night itineraries, and they're going to be calling in on Israel and calling into Jerusalem and overnighting there. So that, if that's of interest to you, have a look at those. That's Odyssey in 22. And then we've got Brilliance sailing from Venice, which is great. Again, doing Greece. This is one of our most popular destinations in Ireland. Again, she will be visiting Mykonos, Santorini, but also Montenegro. Anthem of the Seas is going to be doing slightly longer itineraries out of Southampton in 22. She tends to do 14-night itineraries, and they normally would cover the European cities, but also the Canary Islands as well. And then underneath the last three, we've got Voyager of the Seas is going to be based in Copenhagen. So she's going to be doing sort of Sweden, Finland. But the big attraction here is St. Petersburg, and it's going to be overnighting in St. Petersburg as well, which a lot of people really want to go and to see Russia. And then Vision of the Seas is going to be sailing in Barcelona, and she's going to be doing European cities as well, but calling in to Palma de Mallorca, which a lot of people love as well. And then the last one is Jewel of the Seas. She's going to be sailing from Amsterdam. She'll be doing Spain, Malaga, Iceland, which a lot of people really want to see. But also tucked in on the itineraries is the lovely Monte Carlo. So that's a really, really nice itinerary. So you've got 7 ships in Europe in 22, and there's a huge choice for you to actually choose from. And the one I'm going to talk a little bit more about now is Allure of the Seas. So Allure is one of our Oasis class ships. And the Oasis class ships, they just don't hold the record for being the world's largest cruise ship. They've also won an amazing awards, and you can see some of them there: best large ship, best for entertainment, best individual ships. And they really deliver you know, really great experiences on board, and they're really are ranked the best ships for couples, families, and really they're amazing because they've got 7 distinct neighborhoods on board the ship, which offers incredible entertainment. So they've got like a breezy central park, which is a bit like a town square, to a whole glitzy area called Entertainment Place, where you have everything from a comedy club to a disco to a jazz club to a big theatre, loads and loads of choice there. So whether you're traveling with your significant other or the whole extended family or a crew of your closest best friends, Allure of the Sea is definitely the ship for you. And she's going to be doing the Western Med in 22. So very excited to let you know that we're now sailing to Barbados, and I know Sandra's been there, and it's certainly one of the places that I really, really want to go. It's on my bucket list. So we're incredibly excited to now be sailing from Barbados, and the itineraries we have in place they really are amazing. The new product is proving to be very difficult. It's been on sale now for the last number of months. So we're starting to sail from the 5th of December right through 5th of December this year, right through to the 17th of April 22. So you've got that whole winter program. And if you're looking for some winter sunshine, we've got 3 unique itineraries sailing from Barbados. There's a 7-night Southern Caribbean island hop. There's a 7-night Southern Caribbean adventure. And lastly, then is a 14-night Ultimate Caribbean cruise. And honestly, the stop-offs are just incredible. And there's so many of them, particularly on that 14-night one. There's literally every day you're stopping off on a different island. So they all offer something different. Obviously, we've just had news that Aer Lingus are flying from Manchester now direct to Barbados, and we've got great connections from Belfast to Manchester. So you can connect on with Aer Lingus, or you can fly from Belfast to London Heathrow and connect with British Airways. So there's big choice there. There's great connections. There's plenty of time to get there because the ship doesn't sail until 10 p.m. in the evening. And what I like about this is the first time we have sailed to a Caribbean island outside the US. So we're actually starting the cruise in Barbados, which means the very next day you can wake up and you can be in Tobago or Grenada. And all ports of call are in the Caribbean, so you don't need an ESTA, which is just fantastic. And so that's a visa, and it's the perfect base for pre and post stays. So I thoroughly recommend that you add before the cruise or after the cruise, or before and after the cruise if you want. The ship that's sailing there is called Grandeur of the Seas. So she's one of our smaller ships. Guest capacity, you can see some of the highlights of it. I'm not going to go through them all, but you can see the size of it is 2,440 guests and about 760 crew. She's got 12 decks. And some of her highlights are she's got the Windjammer, she's got Chops Grill, which I spoke about earlier, and there's a huge choice of dining options on board the ship. Plenty of activities with regard to pools, whirlpools, adult-only solariums. There's a spa on board the ship, and also there's a casino, and lots of entertainment as well. We've got the outdoor movie screens, and we've got live music in the Viking Crown Lounge, and we've the Schooner Bar, which is my favorite bar, which I spoke about earlier. And again, we've got nightly entertainment. The great thing about Grandeur, I think she's the perfect match for these itineraries because she offers a really relaxing place to come back to at the end of each day, because I think you're going to be off probably off every day on all the different islands that you'll be going to. So very excited about Grandeur of the Seas. And my favorite place right now is Perfect Day. So this is an island that we have in the Bahamas. And so it's one of our existing private islands. And it was the first of our private islands to go through a multi-million-dollar investment over the last couple of years. And it really is, the investment has gone to the next level and it's created the ultimate family destination in the Caribbean. It actually reopened. It never actually closed, but they were working away on it for quite a while, and it reopened again in May 2019. And now many of our ships, most of the ships that sail in North America, actually one of the ports of call is Coco Cay. So before I go into the detail, and there's lots of features and I'll touch on all of them, but I have a nice little video which gives you a quick overview of what the island has to offer. So I'm just going to play it now. Thank you.
Here we go, come on. They can see us coming from a mile away. They want to see us, want to be us, now we don't play. It's like 1, 2, what's the move? I got 6. Do it like this. Get up. Right now, get up. Right now, get up. Right now, get up. Do it like this. Get up.
Oh my god! The purple one's the best.
Right now, get up. Right now, get up. Right now, get up.
Do it like this.
Here we go, come on. Everybody's gonna have a really good time. We got a crew ready to do whatever's poppin' tonight. Yeah, yeah, you know that it's the place to be. So get next to me and we be feeling so fine. Right now, get up. Right now, get up.
Do it like this.
Do it like what?
Do it like this.
So that looks like an amazing place. That's Coco Cay. So I just want to talk a little bit about what's on the island. The first picture you're going to see here is called the Oasis Lagoon. So this is the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean, and it offers activities to appeal really to all ages. So one of the coves, which is here sort of on your left hand side here, it's got a sloping entry, so it's perfect for families with small children. Whereas the other cove, which is up this end here, where my pointer is here, that offers extensive or expansive swim up bar, and it's got 23 in-water seats, and you can see this area here as a bar, and there's tiny little dots here. They're the in-water seats. So there's the swim up area also covers it's got features like in-water tables, seating I've just mentioned. There's in-water lounges line the edge of the pools, and there's a snack shack there that serves complimentary burgers, hot dogs, salads, and much more. So it's really looks pretty amazing. This is actually a real picture of it. And then we've Splashaway Bay. We have this on board the ship, but obviously this is more expansive, and it really is a water park for kids. I guess it's for kids that are a bit younger, maybe sort of, I guess, 12 and under. So it's got lots of slides and racer slides and tubes and drench buckets and all of that. And entrance into both the Oasis Lagoon and Splashaway Bay are complimentary. And also there's a huge amount of dining options on board the island that are complimentary. If you have a drinks package, it rolls onto the island. If you have a Wi-Fi package, it also rolls onto the island as well. The other part that there is a charge to go into is Thrill Water Park. So this is just like a water park, and it's very much priced at what a water park would be in Orlando. So this is Thrill Water Park. It's got 2 water towers with 13 slides, which you're looking at now. And the biggest one is Daredevil's Peak, which is 135 feet high, the tallest slide in North America. I don't think I'll be going down that one, but for anyone that's looking for a thrill, that's Thrill Water Park. And also in the water park is this wave pool. It's the largest wave pool in the Caribbean. And this is part of the water park, so there is a charge. Well, once you get into the water park, you can use any of these facilities. But once inside, there's complimentary towels and beach chairs, and snack shack is there as well. That's quite hard to say. It's actually the snack shack is what I'm trying to say. And then the other things on the island, we've got Up, Up and Away, which is a balloon, which is just absolutely fantastic. It's a giant helium balloon, floats up to 400 feet. I've seen some pictures of people in this and the views over the island. So it really is the best vantage point in the whole of the Bahamas, overlooking the whole whole island. There is a small fee for this. And then the next thing we have is the zip line, which is 1,600 feet long, and it's about 50 feet up in the air, and it literally goes the whole length of the island. And I believe it's got a water landing at the very, very end. And this is one of the other dining options on the island. This is Skipper's Grill. Again, this is complimentary, but this is one of the island's main dining venues. Got a great harbourfront views. It's next to Splashaway Bay, which is for the kids area, and it does things like salads, sandwiches, burgers, fresh fruit, and desserts. So huge choice of food, but it's everything people tend to be looking for at lunchtime in this sort of a setup. And then the next thing we have, of course, is we have a beach area there, South Beach, and it offers a whole variety of beachside sports. There's yoga and Zumba on the sand. There's sports court like volleyball, soccer and basketball. There's paddle boarding, glass bottom kayaking, and there's 3 bars as well, and the snack shack as well, another snack shack for people on the beach. And then if you're looking for something a little bit more exclusive, with premium amenities and authentic Caribbean feel, you can head to the Cocoa Beach Club. So this is the Cocoa Beach Club, and there is an entrance fee to the beach club, but it includes the dining venue with an upgraded menu. It's got a beachfront infinity pool and in-water lounges. And look at these. These are overwater cabanas. They're the only ones in the Bahamas. So as well as the ones on the beach, we also have ones that are over water, and this is just an overview of them, and you can see, but there's complimentary and there's butler service, complimentary water for the day, and obviously the food is covered in the cover charge as well. But how amazing would that be to be in one of those? I really like the overwater cabanas and having that slide to slide down, but that's there for you as well. You can also get spa treatments in the Cocoa Beach Club. So it's just looking, if you want something a little bit more exclusive and a little bit quieter, that is the perfect place. So what an amazing day, and it really would be a perfect day at Cocoa Cay. There's so much to do, and they tend to have late departures. We are looking in the future at doing overnights there maybe, or longer time periods there, but they do depart very late, like 10, 11 o'clock at night, so you have the whole day to enjoy all the facilities. So wanted to cover this, just my last couple of slides before I open it up to Q&A. I just wanted to pull up some prices for you. So we got great prices at the moment. We've got the Greek Isles on Brilliance, which I spoke about earlier, sailing from Venice, 965 per person. That's a fly cruise, so that would be your flights, 1 bag per person. It's generally 20 kilos in the Med, and that includes all your transfers as well. And then the next one is Odyssey, that brand new ship that I spoke about, sailing from Rome, doing the lovely Greek Isles, just over £1,000 per person, and that's next year again, 22 on Odyssey of the Seas. And then Allure, which I've spoken about a lot tonight, just over £1,000 as well, and the award-winning ship. And this is a fly cruise. These are all fly cruises, so it includes your flights, your bag, and your transfers as well. So that's the Med. The next slide I have, I just wanted to pull these up because I know people, you know, are looking at sort of bucket list destinations, and I've been to Canada, but Alaska is a place I've not been to. And this is a really good price. This is 9 nights, Quantum of the Seas, beautiful Quantum class ship. She's exactly the same as Anthem, which I spoke about earlier on this evening. And she, the price there is $1,499 per person. That's flights from Dublin and flying to Seattle. And you've got your 7 nights on the ship, and it's in and out from Seattle, but it's a really, really good price. That's your flights from Dublin to Seattle, your transfers as well, and your 1 bag per person. And then a lovely Grandeur, which is the Barbados itineraries that I spoke about. I mean, these are amazing. This is just over £1,000 per person, flying from Dublin. We just pulled this out, but you can fly from Belfast as well. 17th of April, 7 nights. And again, it's from Bridgetown, and some lovely itineraries there. Tobago, St. George's, Trinidad, St. Vincent, and St. Lucia. And then lastly, I just pulled up some family prices as well. Great family prices. We have a family of 4 there on Allure. Both of these are Allure, so just under 4,000, 3,669 for family of 4 sharing the same stateroom in June. And then a family of 5, because we do have some families of 5, and that's just a few £100 more, 3,879. So some great prices there and a good variety of different offers there across the Med. We also will be, of course, we sail from Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and then the popular one would be Port Canaveral, which is Orlando, and we've got all our bigger Oasis class ships sailing from there, and all of those would go to Coco Cay, which I've just spoken about. So before I literally on my last few slides, it's all about onboard spend at the moment. And you know, you can spend onboard spend for anything on the ship, for specialty dining, towards buying a drinks package, whatever you want to use it for. So the promotion for the month of April is $150, up to $150 onboard spend across the whole network. And for the next 5 days, starting tomorrow until Monday close of business, there's up to an additional $200 onboard spend. So that's $350 onboard spend. And then for Oasis Travel and for you all coming on tonight and being very patient while I go through this presentation, we're offering an additional $50 onboard spend if you book with Oasis Travel before close of business next Monday, the 26th of April. So that's an additional up to $400 onboard spend, depending on what category of cabin you book. So you can get a lot of things on board the ship for $400. Just to let you know as well, I just want to, the last slide really is just I want to reassure you that obviously we've got no cruises sailing right now, and we've cancelled our cruise until the end of June, but we do have a Cruise with Confidence program in place. So for any bookings made until the end of May, and I know these dates will get extended, and there's an option there that you can, up until the 30th of April 22, you can cancel up to 48 hours prior to sailing in exchange for 100% future cruise cert, so your deposit is protected, and also you can avail of our best price guarantee up to 48 hours prior to sailing. But as we move into the next couple of months, these dates will be extended. So if you make a booking with us through Oasis Travel, please be assured that you're covered, and we do have this Cruise with Confidence policy in place. So finally, before I open up for any questions, the last few things, what separates us from the other cruise line, I think really we have the best ships out there right now. The entertainment is like no other. We've got these great Broadway style shows on board the ship, which are as good as you would see in the West End or even in Broadway, and they're on board our ships. Certainly the dining, I've gone through all the dining options that are available on board the ships, particularly Anthem, and there is a huge choice, and it really is like other, and also huge amount of adventures. There's so much choice out there, whether it's the Caribbean, the Med, Alaska, Barbados, or Northern Europe. There's a huge choice for you to choose from. And I guess most importantly, I'll say it really is a multi-generational holiday. There's something there for every member of the family, no matter how young or how old they are. So I hope you found that interesting, and I know I've gone way over my time, and Sandra's going to give out to me, but we always have so much to talk about. But that's it from me, Sandra.
Not at all, Jenny. Jenny, that was absolutely super. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you for sharing it with us. I think it's really exciting to see the steps the cruise companies are taking, and Royal Caribbean in particular, just to make sure that there is a safe return to cruising. And it's great to see that some ships are sailing quite soon. Just a couple of the points that I wanted to make. Anthem sailing from Southampton. Jenny, a couple of us, myself included, were lucky enough to get on board Anthem, and she really is spectacular. So it's absolutely brilliant to see that Anthem's going to be sailing so close to home. And certainly for the Caribbean on Grandeur over the winter, that is an amazing price. I mean, we have sold flights at much more expensive to Barbados just for a flight only than that cruise. And I would highly recommend to anybody that's thinking of doing that they definitely take the opportunity and stay a couple of nights in Barbados pre or post cruise or both, because it's a beautiful island. And as you said, Jenny, you know, sailing from Barbados is completely different from doing a Caribbean cruise from Florida, because you really do get into the heart of the Caribbean, and you'll just get to see so much more of the
And
islands on a 7-night
very
cruise.
quickly. Yeah, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
You don't have to sail for 2 days. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's been really popular. And I know you've been
Super.
there. It's a great island.
Absolutely beautiful. And Jenny, yes, we have a few questions that have come
Yeah.
through, so that we need to get the glasses on to see.
Yeah, you
First of all,
yeah. You tell.
this is from Susan, saying really excited to see Anthem sailing out of Southampton, wanting to know, are all the spa areas open this year on board the ship?
Yes, they will be. I'm not, we're still finalizing a lot of the protocols on board the ship, but yes, all the areas will be open. And at the moment as well, just to mention, is that we're offering, there's transfers as well at because there's no direct flight to Southampton, so you'd have to fly to London, but we have transfers in place, and they actually were only put in place last week. So there's a whole package there for you.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah. There is a direct flight, Jenny, from Belfast to Southampton, but I don't think it connects on the way out. That's the problem.
Is that it? Okay.
People out via London. But
Yeah.
You know what?
Maybe so could they come back maybe? They could come back maybe, yeah.
And another night away. And Mark's asking, yeah, could you tell us any of the places that Anthem of the Seas is calling into when she sails out of Southampton?
Yeah, she's. I know. There. If you want to, you can ask for a specific date, and I can send you the full itineraries. But it's places like Liverpool and Scotland, and I know it's around the British Isles, going up to Scotland a little bit more. There's slightly different itineraries on different dates. So if what I can do, Sandra, is I will send you the full list right through the season for the summer. How about that? And then maybe you could send
Mark,
I think it would be easier because they're all slightly different. But there's some good ports of call there as well. And okay, I know it's the British Isles, it's a little bit different, but you'll be able to get off the ship, which is great if you want to get off. And you know, it is going to be somewhere different, because I think there's one or two of them that cover Belfast, so you might want to avoid those ones maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
But you know, whenever you look at all the facilities, Jenny, and you think about the spa treatments and all the shows and the different sort of entertainment venues, all the restaurants, you know, and after we've been kind of locked up for nearly a year,
yeah.
Still is a nice option.
An amazing ship because it's got a huge indoor space. There's a whole area as well for younger people called the Seaplex, where they've got bumper cars, and they have roller skating rink, and there's lots of activities. It's a huge indoor space, as well as the solarium, and they're fortunate to have an indoor pool as well as an outdoor pool. But I'll send you the full list of itineraries, and then maybe you could send them on to that gentleman. It probably
Fantastic,
would be easier.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay, and Joe has sent a Q&A, and actually this has been asked also. Are the ships sailing to full capacity? I mean, Joe's asking in particular, do you know what capacity?
No, they're not. They're not. I would think, yeah, I don't know what Anthem is, but if I was to make a guess right now, it will be on government guidelines, and they're not confirmed yet by the government in the UK. But I would make a guess that probably 40-50%, no more than that.
Yeah, yes, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes,
so plenty
definitely.
of space for everybody. Okay.
Yes, plenty of space.
So Ronald has sent a note to say, great to see cruising returning. When do you think all ships will be back in the sea?
Well, do you know something? If you had asked me a couple of months ago, I never thought that Anthem would be back in the sea out of Southampton, and then this whole program to Cyprus. And that literally has happened in the last couple of months. I would really hope, like, we seem to be moving into, the light at the end of the tunnel is getting closer and closer. As soon as it is safe, we're diligently working, we will get every ship in the water as soon as we can, once it's safe to do so within the country where it's sailing from. I would really hope by the summer programs for 22 that we'll be back with the full fleet. Obviously we've got Grandeur starting in December, and we've got these ships now sailing this summer, but I would really be confident by 22 that we'll be back up fully operational.
So I think we expect to see kind of a phased return where,
that's what's happening now, really, isn't it?
We're a small start, and then that will grow and grow. Okay. And final question from Patrick. I know at the minute that Odyssey is not available to book, But will it be available for UK citizens?
Yeah, I know that it's been asked, and yes, we're open to that, because I think, I presume he's talking about Odyssey in Israel. In Israel, yes. I think so, absolutely. If we can open it up, depending on what the government allows us to, the local governments, yes, they could very well open it up. There's no reason why not. And if you can, if you qualify with the protocols, then yes, I would hope that we could open that up, which would be great.
It would be great, Jenny, because I think a lot of people are always looking for new ports of call, and certainly Israel is something that's a bit different. I personally, I'd love to see it, but I believe it's an absolutely beautiful country, so it would definitely be on my list now if we can get on board. But Jenny, look, thank you so much again for giving up.
Not at all. No, not at all. I'm sorry, I went way over my time. I just looked at my time. I thought, oh my gosh, she's going to kill me. I was over by about 20 minutes. But we always have so much to talk about, you know, there's so much to talk about. But thank you, everybody, for coming on. I appreciate your time, and I hope you found that enjoyable and informative. And I look forward, you know, to welcome all of you back on board a Royal Caribbean ship in the not too distant future.
Thank you. Thanks. So Jenny, just to let everybody know, we will get an email out with some sample prices, because I'm sure you want to take advantage of some of those excellent rates. Just at the moment, we're still in lockdown, but our staff are available from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Saturday. So if you call any of your Oasis local branch, your call will be answered. You can also send an email to inquiries@oasis-travel.co.uk or connect with us through social media. So we are able to open non-essential retail from the 30th of April. I'm delighted to say that our shops are going to open, that's a bank holiday weekend. So we're going to open all of our branches on Tuesday, the 4th of May, and we're going to start with the opening hours from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So we're really looking forward to seeing everybody in person again. It's just been so long that we've been closed. So we're really looking forward to that. So I'm busy getting the offices ready at the minute. So enjoying my cleaning. It's good therapy.
And just and just one thing to mention is, don't forget that all that onboard credit I mentioned, up to $400, is available if you book with Oasis Travel before close of business next Monday. Yeah.
Okay, Jenny, thanks again, and thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye. Have a good evening. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Oasis.